taking forever. There we go. Hooday! Whoever is Drunken Disorderly podcast. And man, I have a bone to pick with all of you.
He said bone.
First off, I need to issue a correction. On the news episode today, Scott said that Abraham Lincoln was the only president to be inducted into the Wrestling Hall of Fame. That's bullshit. Your boy Donald Trump, the MAGA president. Okay, yeah, I can't keep it going. Sorry.
I was gonna say, who's boy, motherfucker? Who's boy?
He's in the WWE Hall of Fame, and I get that that's a different kind of wrestling. I'm just saying we need to cross our I's and dot our T's here.
Well, that's not wrestling.
What's the other
that's
kind of
theater.
wrestling?
The kind that isn't theater?
Yep.
The kind that's an actual sport? That kind?
They had that back in the day, huh? I didn't know that.
It was at the first Olympics. They've had it since, like, forever.
I thought that was a short man sport. My bad.
Okay, so I'm not even touching that short man thing. Daniel Hayes, I hope you watch it. She said wrestling was a short man sport. I know you were a wrestler.
You know what? I'll let you make fun of Daniel Hayes on my show. It's fine. Look,
I'm not making fun of him, but I mean,
I need to sit down with him and kind of talk.
You should.
Oh,
and try to be nice.
You should.
So yeah, everyone, don't forget, now that we got people logging on, discount code drunk at North Spokane CBD.
Ha! I fail. It was me.
I wish I could figure out how you guys are doing watch parties, because it is not working for me.
Well, because female privilege is real, man.
Failing lately at that in all sorts of ways. So
I haven't seen a notification for you, Dre.
I'm doing it now, damn it.
Because look, leave her alone. She is settling into housewifery.
Leave Brittany alone.
Don't shave your head, mama.
Oh, hell no. I'm having too good a time.
Say what you want.
She was having a bad time.
That was kind of my kink for a while.
Bald Brittany?
Well, I like really short hair on some girls, and Britney Spears pulled it off.
Well, you like crazy bitches in general, at least before Elfie.
Yeah, pretending like Elfie isn't a crazy bitch. What's wrong with you?
Look, crazy in a good way is different from I'll boil your rabbit motherfucker crazy.
I'm pretty sure she would do that too.
I mean, she wouldn't. She'd just put a big collar on it and teach it to attack you.
All right, done. Are you happy now?
Yeah.
Happy?
Go ahead and it's my turn. Go ahead and talk to our guest.
Okay. Well, so
our co-host.
Our guest co-host tonight is Mr. Sam Robb, and please, everyone, bear with me. I am diving right into being a real housewife. I went to lunch today with someone else who doesn't have a job, and I've been drinking since 1.
Look, housewifery.
I took a long break.
It's hard work, man.
It is. I have a lot of chores that I got to do around here, and I have a lot of Liberty work that I got to do, and a lot of podcast work and media company work. So give me a fucking break. I have a lot of jobs that I don't pay taxes. So there's that.
That's a benefit. I mean, unless you go to prison for it.
Well, I'm not having any income that I have to report taxes on. So there's that too.
I mean,
the good with the bad.
Do you remember that whole like Snapchat models not paying taxes bullshit blow up? And I'm like, prove those bitches aren't paying taxes.
Jealous motherfuckers is what
like I track what I earn when I'm not like working a 9 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
What are you drinking?
Does that say pickled flavored soda?
Pickled flavored soda. I'm kind of scared to try it.
Oh, I dare you.
Is that non-alcoholic?
It's non-alcoholic. I'm going to come on the show with you guys. Soused. No. Maybe later, maybe some other time, but not the first time. So I hit Grandpa Joe's and picked up some pickle flavor, some zombie brain, and I don't know what else is in those six-pack.
I am deeply hurt that you think that you cannot trust us with your first time. Okay,
we would have made it special.
Adorable.
This is actually, I do like pickle juice, so
I got to see the reaction here.
Is it carbonated?
It is carbonated. It is.
He's rinsing his teeth with it, folks.
It is pickle juice. It is carbonated sweet pickle juice.
Sweet
And,
pickle juice.
I will be sipping it for a little bit.
That sounds.
I don't know.
On to the next one.
I don't know if I could handle carbonated sweet pickle juice.
That sounds
Like-
goddamn awful.
I can take a
It's,
lot of things, but that'd be a hard limit.
It's got a flavor. It's got a piquant, buoyant. I have no. It tastes. It's pickle juice. So
Ew.
So
gross on you.
Look, that just proves to you Rob's willingness to tackle any issue. President Rob is not afraid of anything, including carbonated sweet pickle juice.
There you go. What more could you ask for in a president? To be honest,
Dude, I would pay money to watch Donald Trump slam a bottle of that shit.
if I end up on stage with him, I'll bring 2 bottles.
Yeah, make
There
him
we
drink that. Be like, which one of
Here
us
we
is
go.
the bigger man? Can you tolerate this shit?
You got to have 3 because if it's Elizabeth Warren, we already know that she can't drink alcohol worth a damn.
She doesn't know how to drink out of a bottle properly, apparently, for some reason. What the actual fuck? The woman's never had a bottle up to her lips till that day.
Well, I don't know. I've seen a few speeches where I was pretty sure she was hitting the gin bottle pretty hard leading into it.
She drank that out of a glass. That's what's different.
Or a straw, probably a straw. The bottle with
Oh,
a
yeah.
straw.
I
One
mean,
of those big boba straws.
She's just slurping that shit before she goes on stage. And
at
we're
this.
gonna give it all away.
There's nothing wrong with drinking gin. I mean, just Elizabeth Warren is always wrong.
isn't there?
No, if you're smart, that's what you take to the bring your own bottle party because nobody else is going to steal your booze. Fuck.
Yeah, I don't even know what that tastes like. I used to drink gin and tonic, and I don't know.
We're sitting here
which
trying to have a good time
thing-
and vibe and have a great conversation, and Carl says,
Fucking Carl. God
Oh,
damn it.
let's get on to
God damn
serious
it,
stuff.
Carl.
"We
What
love
have you done in the
Carl.
caucuses so far?
Caucus is doing okay. Came in, I think, if you squint and kind of tilt your head the right way, came in 7th in the Iowa caucus, just behind Vermont Supreme, which was kind of a surprise for me because
mean,
whenever it's Vermont.
Yeah. Let's
was
talk about.
surprised by how badly he got slaughtered in that one. Like, he's been the top person, it seemed like, on the internet, and then went into that
Yeah.
caucus, and Hornberger just kind of
Shall
lost
we?
everyone. It hurt me too. Like, everyone knows I work for Dan. That result hurt me too.
Shall we have the in-depth conversation about Facebook versus real life,
Oh, man.
online polls versus actual voting results? Should we have that?
I
I
mean,
think
we were
we should
basing it
talk
off of
about-
the one straw poll that we had in person was that New Hampshire straw poll.
Right. Do you know how how straw polls work, right? So everybody gets a straw. So whatever candidate shows up with the most staff wins.
Oh, okay, better.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
that's the reality. And if it's the bean poll, it's the same thing, but punnier. All of that shit, right? So in Facebook polls, oh, come on.
Oh, yeah.
If Facebook reflected real life, Gary Johnson would have beat Trump.
Yep. Facebook polls are fun. They really are. It's a chance to get to know people and to talk to them and have some fun. And, when I went up again, I forget who it was, the Libertarian Leadership Academy put me up against Vermin. And I'm like, oh, my goodness. I was on at like 11:30 at night right after they did it. And I'm like, yes, I'm only losing by like 400 votes. So that was fantastic. That was a thrill for me. So
Yeah, I mean, this is
real
all
life is entirely different.
very
Oh.
different.
Eric, you remind me. We have a special announcement.
Oh, Zach has a special announcement.
So if we
yeah.
get $100 in new donations or pledges between now and I will give you like an extended period because February is a short month. Between now and March 14th is a Saturday. I will do the next episode of D&D topless just for you, baby. So you and Laura need to start kicking some money so you can have topless man bear raptor.
Oh,
I done. How was your trip back? So Sam, why weren't you in Nebraska? All the other cool
Trip
people
back
were
from
in
where?
this last weekend.
Oh, thanks, Tom. Thank you.
Who are
Nebraska.
you talking to? What trip
I
back?
don't know.
John had
John
to drive-
Phillips.
Hi, Chip.
Yeah.
Oh, hi, John.
Yeah, like you
Hey,
guys
John.
had shit weather. I heard Kara Schultz kind of stayed and extended her stay because flights were getting wonky.
Oh, really?
Laura just came to the TV.
Kathy was supposed to be at our convention and didn't make it because of weather in the West. So
yeah, weather was wonky. It was.
So why were you there, Sam? We were all hanging out waiting for you.
That's a shame. We've got I've got a ton of stuff lined up. We're starting off with California, then Missouri, then Iowa. Just a ton of stuff running on.
Wait, when the fuck is Missouri?
About Iowa.
Pause. When is Missouri?
Missouri is
end of this month, right?
21st, I think. 21st.
Wait, it goes Nebraska, blank, Missouri, Iowa. Like how did
Nebraska, California, Missouri,
California,
Iowa.
Yeah.
No one cares about California. It's on the West Coast.
Yeah.
How the fuck did we miss that, Dre? We could have been at Missouri too.
Nobody invited us. Who do we know in Missouri? Do we know Missouri people?
Who needs to invite you? It's an LP function. You show up with booze and pot, and they embrace you.
That Campbell guy that I always make fun of, his last name's Campbell. He lives in Missouri.
Missouri, if you're talking about Missouri, that's Cecil Ince. Tony Kirk is in Missouri. There's good people in Missouri. Jordan Houston. Hey, Jordan. They're all down there. Missouri's got great people. If you haven't been, go.
Okay. Fuck. If it's in the next couple weeks, we still might be able to.
Myra, that hurts my feelings.
Absolutely.
What did Myra say?
$500. $500 keeps his shirt on.
You know what? For $1,000, we will have Thomas on our show in his bikini. Okay? Fuck you.
Yeah, Austin Peterson's in Missouri. He is.
Oh my God, that would be so fun. Oh, I'm so mad. Okay.
Austin Peterson's in Missouri, but it's not like he's going to an LP convention.
I mean, he probably would if somebody called and said, "Hey, man, come have a drink." Austin's not the dick everybody thinks he is.
Oh no, he's not a dick, but like we treated him like shit when he bailed. Like you can say he deserved it. Okay,
we here personally did not, and I
look. He knew Austin is anything but stupid. He knew it was going to happen if he did that, and he did it anyway.
Pause. That dude went on Ruben's show and got spanked in regular Nintendo games. So can we really say he's a smart person?
Well, being dexterous and being smart are not the same thing. Too many buttons.
Which games? Because Rainbow Road still kicks my butt. Okay.
Right.
2 buttons.
Oh,
look, 2 buttons is sometimes too much. You don't know how high he was.
I mean, look, I guess I can believe that because how many guys struggle to find the 1 button?
I was gonna say, you say there's only 2 buttons. Well, come on.
Sam, welcome to the show. How you feeling?
Okay, I'm going to say right now, I probably have some friends from church that have tuned in, tuned out, and are now probably burning their computers.
Friends from church, do not judge Sam based on us. He's trying to minister to sinners here. Back the fuck off.
Also, on that note, I am a former youth pastor, if that counts for anything.
There we go.
I mean, I'm ordained.
I'm an
You're in a cult, though.
I'm not in a cult.
Are you a libertarian?
Well, yeah.
Maybe you're in a cult.
Well, libertarianism isn't always a cult. There are certainly people who treat it like a church, but
usually
it's
there's
not
benefit to a cult. I'm just saying.
It's not my church.
Zach put that last comment.
I mean, does it really count as a cult unless you're sacrificing virgins?
I mean, we would do that.
True, Eric.
So here's the deal.
We have tons of 40-year-old virgins in this party.
I was just
sacrificing virgins wins elections. We should start.
And we sacrifice them on social media all the time.
No, we don't sacrifice them. They commit Harry Carey. They jump on
they
those landmines
throw
all by
themselves. They throw themselves on fucking railroad tracks.
Exactly.
Thank you, Eric.
I have a friend named Austin Peterson. He's like the opposite of Austin Peterson. Okay. We should
bring them both on the show at the same time. Be like, Austin, meet Austin.
Austin.
Come on, that would be fun.
Only if you take him topless and have him wrestle.
Absolutely.
Oh, I'm in.
We'll get like one of those kiddie pools and fill it with like honey.
With Jello?
Jello.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're gonna wrestle in Jello, don't do it in your bathtub unless you're using yellow Jello, because red Jello and blue Jello will stain your bathtub.
Ooh.
That sounds like the voice of experience.
Yeah, like don't ask me how I know that. I just do.
Is there enough room in a regular bathtub to wrestle another adult human?
There is if you're creative.
Okay, there is if you're your size. I wouldn't be able to pull it off.
Oh, you would. You just lose.
I mean, look, depending on who I was wrestling against, I'd probably lose on purpose.
It depends on the punishment.
Yes.
I mean, if the loser gets
we go,
figged,
Sam.
are you winning or losing?
Ooh, I don't know that term.
You don't know
What?
figging?
No, we have talked about this on the podcast. How do you not know that term?
Is it like pegging?
No, kind of.
Well, ish.
It's less comfortable than pegging, actually.
Oh, way less comfortable than
yeah,
pegging.
pegging has its place. Like figging can get.
So figging involves you take a piece of fresh ginger root and you peel a sliver of it about this big, and you insert that sliver into someone's rectum. And it doesn't cause lasting damage, but it is incredibly unpleasant. Fresh ginger juice in your anus is not fun.
Does it burn?
What have I done that I'm here having this conversation?
You announced you declared yourself as a libertarian POTUS candidate. Welcome to the party.
Apparently,
Buckle
yes.
I mean, we're talking about odd conversations. So a few months ago on our show, we were talking about Cody Brown at different points, talking about potentially running for office in Utah to fight against the polygamy laws there. Then he moved to Arizona. We're talking about maybe he will run there. Hopefully he will run there. And now today we're seeing this headline that Utah has now a bill has passed through one of their houses to make polygamy legally okay again there. I hope that they carry through and make polyandry also legally okay there. Polygamy in and of itself is a religious has a religious context around it. It's one man, multiple wives, and not
What's polyandry?
One woman, multiple husbands.
Oh,
Can't we just say polyamory and call it good?
Polyamory is actually different. Polyamory is many loves, not many marriages.
Oh.
I mean, yeah, but for me, it's just like, well, we don't need government marriages anyway.
I mean, right, it's thematically different, but
I get you.
Hopefully, all things between consenting adults would be okay.
Mm-hmm. So, why are you running for president?
I was left unsupervised. In all honesty, I was.
Okay, so seriously, Sam, no, like I'm not even gonna hide that I Facebook creeped you, right? Because you're gonna be a guest on the show, and that's part of the gig, right? And if you're running for POTUS, people are gonna Facebook creep you, right?
Oh yeah.
And so I came across a post. I'm thinking is maybe who is Alex Robb?
Alex is my daughter.
Your daughter. Okay, so
Yeah.
Alex makes a post that implies that potentially you're running for POTUS because you're having a midlife crisis.
Oh, it's cheaper than a midlife crisis. It really is cheaper than a car. I like traveling anyway, so I'm getting to travel, getting to meet interesting new people of all sorts of varieties. And in all honesty, all the people that I've met, I'm really enjoying it. I've met a lot of the other candidates, a lot of the people down in Georgia and up in New Hampshire, and I'm sure out in California, Missouri. It's just a blast. It really is getting to know people, getting involved. Why I'm running? Are you familiar with the idea of black humor? I get the impression that maybe you are, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
It's like food. Not everybody gets it, right?
Yeah.
So
Dark humor.
Well, I mean, communists don't get food.
Joke about the things that disturb you, because you throw some humor in there and it lets you laugh and it lets you get past it. And I realized I've been joking about running for president for more than 4 years. Definitely back to 2012, and it took me until this past year, to realize that that's why I was joking around. It was kind of a disturbing subject. You look at who we have that's running, and once their thumbs on the scales, once their hands on the levers of power, and it's kind of scary. So I decided this year, might as well step up and try and be a voice of reason. So
then for you, was it I am truly equipped to do this job, I could do a wonderful job, or was it a holy fuck, Trump's president, I can't possibly do any worse?
I think a little bit of both. I think I absolutely could do a good job. Here's the thing. The presidency is not supposed to be this position that you need someone ultra competent and capable and able to step in and run world affairs. It was intended to be run by a part-time farmer who took a couple of years off to go go lead the country and basically manage the laws of the land. It's beyond that, and I think the first order of business is to get out the pruning shears and start cutting it back to the point where somebody can do that again.
So you're former Navy, Zach's former Army, I'm former Army, right?
Oh, they're going to gang up on me.
No, look.
I was basically Air Force, though, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, and I wasn't going to use like the derogatory nicknames and stuff. Nobody was going to say anything about sea creatures or anything.
There we go.
But like for me, I look at this shit. I look at all these alphabet agencies, right? And I'm like, okay, this is really simple from a former military standpoint. Not that everything I learned in the military was good things, right? But I did learn some valuable things. And for me, you have a mission statement and you have a vision statement. So you've got your vision statement. You know what the mission is. You carry out the mission. Then you've done your job. For me, I always like to say, if I was elected president, I would walk into every one of those agencies and I would say, show me your mission statement. And any agency that failed to achieve their mission statement, you're done. You're axed today.
Yep.
So that's where you start, right? You start with the visible failure.
Yep.
So what would that first agency be?
There's some of them. One of the things that's kind of interesting to me, you start digging into some of these agencies. Great example, ATF. How many people love the ATF? Right?
That's a great store, man.
I mean, if that was a store, it would be my favorite store.
Here's the thing. The ATF does a ton of other stuff beyond dealing with gun regulation. And there's actually some interesting things that they do in terms of fire, basically fire research, trying to understand what goes on with obviously dealing with firearms and explosives and doing all sorts of other stuff like that. Most people, if they weren't enforcing gun laws, they wouldn't care about the ATF. Who would care about the ATF?
I would, because they'd also be enforcing like tobacco laws and alcohol laws.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Other things that they're fucking around with. Yeah, this is. I mean,
two things I need to point out real quick. One, you just survived two other candidates, so good job. Everyone knew Andrew Yang dropped out. Yeah. Apparently, Michael Bennett also dropped out. And right now, everyone's exactly.
Like, who's shocked?
Governor of Colorado. No one remembered that he was even running. I heard Stayer just dropped out too, but I haven't seen confirmation yet.
I didn't say Squid, but Chad Williams did. Hey, brother.
The other thing, we're talking about things that we learned in the military. What I learned is that it's actually not a polite thing to do to fuck dead wildlife out in the desert. That's an important life lesson, I feel like.
I mean,
that should be pointed out.
I think it depends on the companies.
I was in a safety briefing when I was in AIT, which means somebody did it.
Well, look, I think it depends on the company, right? Like, maybe it's polite. I don't know if it's working for you, but ask first. Hey, guys, if I did this thing, would you be offended? Yeah. I mean, and maybe he did it on a dare.
Were you with Marines at any point during that? I'm just curious. I mean, because I'm just saying.
It does kind of sound like a jarhead move.
I'm sorry. So we have to ask, because we've had a joke and now a serious question about it. What do you think about nuclear power?
Love it. Nuclear power is amazing. Yeah. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know why we're not doing more of it. Even with the current regulatory regime, nuclear power, especially when you're talking about making everything electric now. Talking about electric cars, electric trucks, electric this, electric that. We've got an electric toothbrush. I'm sitting here with electric headphones. Everything's electric. Nuclear power just makes a whole lot of sense. I don't know why we're not doing it. Because the government sucks.
Well, it's bigger than that, right? There's a stigma. It's the perceived stigma based on the media-centric a narrative, the narrative that the media wants to put out. So follow back the money, right? Who owns the media companies and what are their other holdings? That'll tell you why you're only finding out what you're finding out.
Exactly.
See, Chad, thorium reactors in every house. Love it. Yes.
I would be kind of afraid of that. Like, there's just so many dumb people.
Carl, God damn it.
Yeah.
Calories.
Right, but okay, how many
Eric's
carbs
question.
does it have? That's more
Yeah,
important.
carbs are what matters
Is
to
there
keto-based
carbs
libertarians.
in?
There's a question for you, Sam.
Will the Robb administration allow me to sell my homegrown heroin powered by my nuclear reactor to 5-year-olds? That is truly an interesting question. You know what? We've got a lot to do before we can even get close to answering that question. There's a ton of things on our plates. So we apparently have to. John wants to do something
Way to dodge the question.
scandalous with the ATF, but I'm not sure if they'll go for that. But we need to strip the ATF of all sorts of different powers. We need to cut
the TSA.
We need to cut the government back. There's a ton of stuff. Once we get around to it, we got to clean out all the corners. Then we can talk about your selling hair.
You know what, Raptor? Screw you and you're eliminating TSA. I'm going to be the first libertarian to publicly say maybe we should consider at times allowing TSA to continue to exist, because for a lot of people, that's the only intimacy they're receiving in their entire life.
I knew that's where this was going. I knew it.
If we legalize sex work, then the TSA can go apply for a job in the free market like everyone else.
Right. I mean, they're clearly qualified.
$5 handies.
I think we keep them. You keep them, and you keep them at airports, but it's free market, man. $5 will fill you up. If you
Here's a serious question for you. Serious question for you though. Is there any problem with the TSA if the airport says, "Hey, this is the security that we have"?
Yes.
Yes. They suck.
Because
do you know how much shit I have smuggled on the plane that they have not caught?
No, and here's why.
They do suck.
Airports are supported by municipalities. Airports are taxpayer funded. If the airlines themselves want to do that, I wouldn't be as opposed, but only if they agree to receiving zero government funding.
And that would be the point,
those
right?
motherfuckers.
Right.
If taxpayer dollars support it, fuck off. No.
Yeah, correct.
By the way, the bacon maple soda is actually really good. It's like drinking a pancake.
You know, you could marinate chicken in that and then throw it in a smoker, and that would be badass.
You know, my wife makes a maple chicken, and that's an idea right there. I'm going to pass it along to her.
That would be good.
Okay.
See, now apparently I'm fucking hungry. God damn it.
The TSA already saw John's nuts.
Oh, that's true. Did you guys not hear that story?
No.
When John took his belt off.
Oh my goodness.
His belt off and started making his move, and down they went. And I mean, when you go commando, that's the risk.
Wait a minute. Seriously? You too, John?
This is why
his pants just went after he took his
no
belt off.
Yeah.
Well, he's a thin guy.
He is.
Oh, I guess we have our first major controversy of your campaign. Apparently, you're Canadian, so we're gonna need to see some
Canadian. Oh,
you want to answer to this?
All
Mr.
that maple syrup, man.
It's the maple syrup. And that'd be a beauty, eh? To be one of our northern neighbors. Actually, love Canada, so that's where my wife and I did our honeymoon up in a place called Thornbury. Been up there for a couple of conferences.
Was it wild?
Are you talking about the conferences, or are you talking about the honeymoon?
I'm talking about
the honeymoon. The honeymoon was wild.
About the Thornberries. Come on.
The Thornberries. No, the honeymoon was wild. We had a great time. Canada's awesome. Seriously, it is a beautiful country.
So, do you watch Letterkenny?
No, I don't. I've got friends who tell me I should.
Seriously?
Pitter patter. God damn.
I barely have time to sleep these days.
Oh, you got to find time for Letterkenny. But anyway, I really think that we should talk about the Iowa convention, considering there is going to be 10 presidential candidates there. That's pretty huge, guys, right?
It's like 5% of the total.
On the topic of Iowa, real quick, Myra, a little too soon to be talking about diabetes. Thanks for digging that wound up for me again. Okay. Ass.
Oh, that hit a little close to home for you.
Yeah, a little bit. Look, I know I'm going to die soon, okay, guys? Jeez.
Die happy.
Exactly.
Figure it out.
Figured it out. I say that in the car constantly.
So we're gonna see you in Iowa, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Are we going?
Awesome.
Are we going to party like it's 1999?
Let's see. But 1999, I was.
How are you partying in
I was
99,
probably,
man?
no, I was actually on my way to adopting my first girl, so I was trying to be respectable. So,
I mean,
let's
so
roll
yeah,
it back to 1998, 1997. We can do that.
I mean, you
All
could
right.
party like it's 1999, but what Sam is saying is you'd be bored.
Got it.
I'm bored.
So
I'm a boring guy. I'm
I
sorry.
mean, I was like 14, so it's not like I was doing anything exciting.
Oh,
Well,
really? Sorry to hear about it.
I am so looking forward to the Iowa convention. It is like
It's gonna be
probably
cool.
my favorite. And so we've already had our convention. That stress is out of the way. I get to go let loose and just table and promote the podcast and have fun and hang
We're
out with
tabling?
everybody. I can't wait.
Wait, we're
Huh?
tabling? Did we pay for that?
I thought you paid for a table.
I thought we weren't doing tables.
Okay, we're not tabling. We're just gonna go and
Lyra,
hang
did we
out.
get a table? Can you let us know?
We need a
I did
table,
buy a
Myra.
ticket. I did buy
I
tickets.
haven't bought a ticket yet. I'll probably just pay at the door.
I
No,
bought
I
tickets.
need a package because I'm actually going to be, since I'm running for Region 6 alternate, I actually have to be there for most of this one instead of just one day.
You should.
How is this turning into a confrontation? Everyone's just picking on me.
I don't know.
Carl, you're not making any sense.
Zach likes to be picked on. It's his kink.
She's a weirdo.
If this is torture, chain me to the wall. God, I shouldn't do that accent. You know what? The actor who did that movie shouldn't have done that accent. I don't care if it was his accent.
Myra says we're sharing a table with Roads of Pets of Freedom.
Oh, Roads to Freedom.
Roads of Pets of Freedom.
Roads of Pets.
Yeah, the next comment.
Yeah.
He's gonna walk around topless with drunk on one tit and disorderly on the other. Okay, but I might
You
actually do that.
wish.
I'm just saying it is a libertarian convention. What's a libertarian convention without a half-naked dude on stage shaking his man?
We can
Look.
get temporary tattoos for you.
Oh my God.
Oh,
This is the quality entertainment that you turn into our show for.
You know,
thank you everyone for
people-
coming along this ride
you
with
people
us.
know what you're coming in for. I don't feel sorry for any of you.
And seriously, you guys know us, so you know that everything has a cost. So your great ideas like that, back them up with some cash, and we'll talk.
I
Yeah,
will
you can send us a one-time donation.
you tattoo Roads to Freedom on my nuts for enough money.
Hey, we all agreed to get Alex Jones tattoos for enough money.
Yep, and it was a very small cost. What was that, like $250 plus the cost
$250.
of
I
the
did not agree to
tattoo?
this.
Yep, $250
Aaron and
plus
I
the cost of
did.
the art. Yep.
Would
Yeah.
you, if how big of a donation would your campaign need for you to get an Alex Jones tattoo, Sam?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. I don't know. Just keep adding zeros. I'm not a fan, but just keep adding zeros, and sooner or later you get to it. How much did that Yang pull in? He's got.
You could get it anywhere
give
on
me
your
that.
body. You could put it like in somewhere nobody would ever see it. You
Yeah,
know?
I want.
This is scandalous, especially since I've been in the Navy. But I do not have a tattoo.
Oh my
What?
god!
I have no tattoos.
Wow.
I'm the only one that's been in the military in my family, and I've got 4 brothers. They've got tattoos. I've got none.
See,
I
people.
told you I'm boring.
Here's what Sam Robb just said. What I heard. What I heard is he has plenty of space for an Alex Jones tattoo. Should the right donor step forward and donate
That's
enough
pretty
money
much
to his
what I heard
campaign.
as well. That's what I heard
Good.
as well. My dad was in 2 different branches of the military, has no ink, so don't feel bad.
So you can get a taxation of Steph sticker to cover the goods. That's true. Dan will be there.
Yes.
Dan, hook me up.
Well, it depends on which
Are you
one of
gonna-
us
Oh
needs
wait,
the
I mean
sticker.
him, hook him up. Whatever.
No, it's too late. You just agreed to walk around with our campaign stuff all over your she titties.
I don't know that
Dude, it
my
would take-
John will be okay with that.
It would take more than one sticker for yours, Zach. You're the only one of us that's stacked.
Don't be jealous about my milkshake.
I am though. I'm so jealous. Like I would just stay home and feel myself up all day. I don't know how you work.
Like when no one's looking, I'll sit there and like tweak a nipple, Here's the deal. I actually hated my nipples being played with until Elfie turned it into part of our like games, and now it's like sometimes it's difficult to get there without a little bit of nipple play. It's like, fuck you, bitch, you ruined this for me.
Breathe. Remember to breathe.
Oh my god!
Mute her mic.
I had to mute and
She
shit.
finally muted for once when she
I was
had a
like,
coughing fit.
fuck.
That's amazing.
God
Everyone
damn.
remember, share this with all your friends. That's how we grow, and that's how we can keep having really cool guests like Sam on, by growing and making it worth their time.
Like, share, comment, subscribe. Let us know who else you want to see on.
Yeah.
Sam, if people want to find out more about your campaign, about your platform, about where
Yes,
you're going to
please.
be and what you need, where do they go?
They can go to samrobb2020.com. That's SAMROBB 2020.com, and you can find it all there. You can find all the clips from all the campaign videos that I'm doing. You've got the various debate videos. You've got all the information on my positions, where I'm at with a bunch of things, and can volunteer. You can sign up. We've got a Discord server that we're just getting put together for to volunteer coordination, and hopefully things will be taking off real soon.
Do you not
I
have
want
a
to know?
campaign Facebook page?
Oh yeah, you can get to the campaign Facebook page off the main page. That's also Sam Robb 2020 on Twitter, 2020 Sam Robb. So
Okay.
So I have to ask, because it's vitally important. How can we trust you to lower our taxes with a last name like Robb? Low hanging fruit. It's the only kind I like.
That wasn't even. That wasn't
It is.
even.
That was
on the ground.
He is a brand new dad. He's new with the dad jokes. Give him a little bit of break.
That wasn't on the ground. That bitch was under the ground, and you tried to resurrect that shit,
That
His
wasn't
kids
free.
are at another house groaning right now.
right?
Yep.
Holy hell, dude!
Okay, then answer the question.
He's new
was
to
an
the
awesome
dad
one.
jokes.
Oh my god,
Wait a minute.
You
He's
don't
new
even
to the
have
dad
to-
jokes, or I'm new to the dad
I
jokes?
He
am.
is.
he is.
He is.
He is.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? I've got
So-
something for you. I've got something that can help you with that.
Okay,
Because
good. Hook him
one of
up.
the things I've done in a previous life is write a book. Dad tweets me right 1001 dad jokes in 160 characters or less.
Ooh.
Believe it or not, it is some of the most groan-worthy jokes that I've inflicted upon my girls. If you want to check it out, you can hit Amazon, go looking for it. It's cheap. You can get it cheap, and guaranteed you'll find something in there to make your kids just roll their eyes at you.
I'm sorry. Look, yes,
He's
I
got
am not on
girls.
Eric's level. So
Rookie dad joke. Yeah, that's true.
the problem, like I've had to lean really heavy on dad jokes because most of my humor is sexual, and I don't want to make like, hey, your mom has this amazing ass joke to. Not that stops me from making those comments on occasion. I can't help it. Their mom has an amazing ass. What am I going to do?
Matt, I'm all
Can I ask,
for
how old are your
Rosie.
kids? How old
13.
are your kids? 13?
Yeah.
Oh
girls.
man.
13-year-old girls, twins.
Oh, that is
They're really
you are hitting
fun.
the sweet age where you can just give your wife a hug and give her a kiss, and they will start. I mean, you'll see they'll gag. They'll actually start, and it's awesome. I love it.
All you have to do is get out of the car and try and kiss them goodbye in front of the school.
Oh
That's
yeah.
it. That's all it takes.
Oh my goodness, it's awesome. It's
Or
fantastic.
invite that boy they like to dinner and be kind to him. That really carries them.
No, that would ruin the shtick I got going on with buying an extra shotgun every time they talk about a new.
You know what though? No, look, they like that. When you say that stuff, they go, "Aw, Daddy loves me." But when you invite
Yeah.
the guy to dinner, this is what you do. So when they bring home the weird-looking guy, the kid that you know is probably not the right kid for them, and they will a lot. They will do that a lot.
I'm feeling
Yeah.
personally attacked by where we're going with this story.
Dude, just look, be super
Were you
sweet
that
to
boy?
them.
Oh.
Be super sweet to them and be like, "Hey, Joe, It's so good to see you. Why don't you come have dinner with us next Friday? Her grandma's gonna be here. I'd love for you to meet her. She will ditch that motherfucker like this.
I'm flipping a coin on one of them as to whether they're going to be bringing a boy home at all. The other one is definitely getting boy crazy, and it's not a good thing.
Boy crazy or girl crazy, don't trust anybody they bring home. They all suck.
I realize what I'm about to say is probably very problematic.
Don't say that word on the show.
I know, like,
that scares me.
Jesus
I am much like, I don't have to worry if they become lesbians. I don't have to worry about them getting pregnant. I'm okay with that. Like, that seems like a win to me.
Dude, abuse comes in all kinds of forms, and women are not excluded from it.
No.
And actually, so heartbreak.
Lesbians have a higher abuse rate.
Well, and heartbreak is heartbreak.
Right, yeah. But pregnancy is what I'm worried about right now. I don't want my girls to have a kid at 15 like my mom did. That is not a good situation for anybody.
Sure, dude, nobody wants that, but that a lot of times is a lot easier to overcome and still do well than emotional abuse or drug addiction. I mean, look, if that happened,
we would just adopt the kid like my parents did me.
I mean, there's a lot of things that are worse.
What would you do to fix the adoption system, Sam? Give you the real hard questions.
There you go. That's tough.
The adoption system, man. All three of my girls are adopted.
Awesome.
We ended up going to China because the adoption system in the United States is just so screwed up.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. You start talking about, and this was honestly at the time when we started looking into adoption, we said, okay, adopt within the state of Pennsylvania. That's where we are. There was a huge court case where they took someone who had been a child that had been, their adoption was almost finalized. I think they'd been with this family basically from birth up until the age of 3. And they said, no, you know what? We're going to tell you this child belongs with his family. We're going to give them to their grandparents.
Wow.
So we looked at that and said,
child's family at that point.
Yeah. And we looked at that and said, you know what? I couldn't live with that. That would kill me.
That would be rough.
We went looking, and we went overseas for an adoption because it would be final. We knew that would be, that would be our daughter, that would be our son if we did that.
Yeah. No one's coming from China to get their kid back.
Yeah. The one of the first things you can do with the adoption system, I think, to improve it, especially with the foster system, foster to adopt. One, you've got to clean out the foster system.
Yes.
The foster system as it stands right now there's some great people there. Yeah. There's some fantastic people working in the adoption system. There's some truly horrible people. So you need to clean it out. You need to make it a lot easier to make adoption a forever family option. Not hey, we're going to give you 3 years with this family and see if you work out, and then come back in and yank you back out. It needs to be a situation where you say, okay, here's what's best for the kid.
There should not be a trial period to a family.
Yes.
Dude, ending the war on drugs, ending the war on drugs alone eliminates a huge part of this problem.
Oh, totally.
A huge part of this problem.
I have never heard of that, of a 3-year thing. I've heard of like a birth mother has like 3 days or 3 weeks to decide after.
It's usually,
this was the long-running court case.
So for a birth mother, it's usually 6 months to a year. Technically, 6 months to a year. And then for families, by the time they notify a family that a child's been taken into foster care, especially if it's extended family, grandparents who live in another state, that alone can take up to a year. That family can't even start the paperwork process in court until after they're notified. Then that process can take 6 months to a year. Part of it is the way this is a flawed system from beginning to almost
very
end.
Overloaded.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And you have a problem too, because when you talk about the federal level, and that's one of the things that you get people asking you questions. I had somebody ask me, what are you going to do about about child support? The child support system and how screwed up it is. And I'm like, there's not a whole lot of federal law on that.
Right.
It's a state issue.
State law.
Yeah, that's
you get down into adoption. It's a lot of state law. Something that I think the president can do and actually should be doing, is talking to governors and working with them and saying, hey, okay, this is where we are as a country. Let's show some leadership and get some things done. Let's work with the states, because that's the way it's supposed to be. We're supposed to be working with the states to help them get things done. We're supposed to have 50 different little laboratories for freedom and for whatever it is that you want to try. No income tax. You want to try a sales tax. You want to. Hopefully, none of you will be doing any of that. But it's up to you. You do it your way, and we'll see which state has the best options.
Maybe if the federal government handled currently available federal funds as a competition, shit would change, right? Maybe if the federal government said to all 50 states, this federal money that you're all supposed to get this year. So here's the challenge this year. The challenge this year is, how do we best overhaul the adoption system so that people's liberties aren't being violated and new families can welcome children who in need of a family into their home? And whatever state develops the best, like we can certify it on paper system, you get the federal funds this year. The rest of you fuck off. Or something. What if you did something like that?
I like her. Can we keep her? I like her.
I mean,
she's here to stay, man.
Fun, right?
She's on the LNC. She's here to stay.
I do want to.
Well, hopefully I'm on the LNC again. Let's remember, I still have to be elected again, and I like to piss people off.
I have faith.
And then I got to get elected too, so we can have this like weird monopoly on power. Anyway, let's. There's three things here. Hang on. So we're gonna go back to the question in a second. Okay. But Eric talking about federal laws. Title, whatever the fuck that is a federal law, and the reason why child support is so fucked up.
Agreed.
It allows the state to take a cut of child support payments. Immediate repeal would remove the state's incentive to mandate sexist custody schedules and punitive child support.
So here's the thing that's bigger than that too. So that is tied into, in many states, into the food stamp program and the state Medicaid program. So if you're a single parent and you apply for food stamps, Medicaid, or TANF, you have to allow the state child support agency to take over kind of jurisdiction of your child support case, and they get a fee. So whatever your ex was paying in child support, they're not going to pay a little bit more because the state's charging their processing fee, and they get federal funds tied to it. It's all tied together.
Man. And this is one of the reasons why I think dealing with some of these issues is a matter of untangling a rat's nest, right? You don't know how these things are integrated. And honestly, as a candidate, I'm getting questions. This is the first I'll say I've ever heard of Title 4D, right? I'm going to have to go and I'm going to have to do some looking at it. What I need to do is, as a candidate, hopefully someday as president, is to find people who know what they're talking about on these issues and bring them in and say, okay, this is where we are. How do we best untangle this?
If you need a family law consultant, it is Eric.
Yeah, Eric's
he's been through the ringer.
Yeah, he's dealt with it. And
there you
Chad,
go.
Thank you, Chad.
Eric, hop on samrob2020.com. Shoot me your information. I would love to talk to you more about it.
Sam, you would not believe it. You would not believe the bullshit that he's dealing with. You and Eric have got to get together and have this conversation. You've got to hear his story.
Yeah. So his original question was, would your administration overturn absolute immunity for prosecutors and judges so they can be held accountable for their actions in civil and criminal court?
Now that's something that I think I would like. I'd have to, again, it's one of those things. You'd have to take a look at it. I know when you start talking about the legal system, we go back, our legal system goes back hundreds of years in terms of what's been established, in terms of common law, in terms of some of it in terms of tradition. And sometimes there's a good reason why things are there. Sometimes there's not. For example, here talking about immunity for prosecutors and judges, that's obviously intended so that they can make a hard decision and not
sure, but intents and outcomes are very different things, right? When we as libertarians talk about things like the Civil Rights Act, the ERA, things that we violate liberties by creating special protections for special classes, I don't think most of us think that the original intent behind these things was nefarious, right? The intent was probably good, but intents do not equal outcomes, and it's outcomes that we need to be concerned with.
It's a very, very, very good point.
And that's actually a lot of what you see me talking about when I talk about repealing regulations or cutting back regulation is to remove the idea that, hey, there's one way to do this. We've got an outcome we want. Let's go ahead and allow different methods to get there. In this case, I'm just saying, in this case, I'm not positive that I understand exactly why that particular immunity is there. Not knowing that is kind of like, saying, hey, there's a switch here in this airplane that I'm flying in. Maybe I'll just give it a yank and flip it and see what happens.
I would ask you too, though, regardless of intent, let's say the intent is amazing and the outcome might be amazing. Is that still a good reason to eliminate liberty for anybody? Do you get to trample on somebody else's rights to individual autonomy just because you have a good intent? And even if you can prove that the outcome would be good, is that still, does that make it okay to eliminate liberty or minimize rights ever?
No, but in this, and what I'm looking at here in this case, though, is you're not eliminating someone. I guess technically,
yeah, you are.
You're eliminating someone's
anybody
right to
who
come
might
back
be. Anybody who might be victimized by a nefarious judge, even if it's only one ever, isn't that too many?
Now, if it does, agreed. It's one too many. You start looking at that, and this is what I was getting at too. You start looking at these things, and sometimes you don't see it the right way the first time.
Sure.
You have to circle around. You come back at it. You talk to some smart people who say, "Hey, have you thought about this?" You come around to it.
Don't feed her ego like that.
Actually, I was thinking about you.
Stanley, his character Sky in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., that character said at one point, we're all just pieces solving the puzzle, right? And I think that's the part we forget, and that's what I keep hearing from Sam is, look, we're all pieces. We have to work together and have the conversation, have the dialogue, so that we can paint the big picture.
Yeah, you don't want to do something that's going to hurt people. And some things, even if they seem like they're a good idea, even if they seem like they would immediately increase liberty, might involve people getting hurt. So you want to avoid. I think you want to avoid that. You want to do things as much as you can to minimize any sort of collateral damage, but still make progress towards where you want.
I think that's the conundrum, right? We all want to help people, but you don't get to help people at someone else's expense.
Yeah,
absolutely. So
you guys want results from New Hampshire?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Ooh.
Let's hear it.
Your boy Bernie is at 27.
Whose boy? I'll make him my boy.
Your other boy, Booty Pig, is in 24.
I love it.
Damn.
Aaron, can you say this name for me? She's at 20%.
Amy Klobuchar?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
She's third.
I actually kind of dig
Warren
her.
and Biden are tied in fourth at 9%.
Steel cage match.
9.
Okay, so look, literally on that list, Pete and Amy. They're the only two on that list I might actually party with.
Tulsi's not on the list?
Fuck no. No, she would be that bitch that whines in their ear about all her haters, even though she doesn't have any. She's that bitch. Like, no, go puke in your cup somewhere and leave me the fuck alone. I can't. She's not that hot. She's not that smart. No, I'm sorry.
Okay, whoa.
No, Aaron, I'm with you.
She is definitely that hot.
No,
she might not be that smart.
Dude,
but
she's not that hot. She is not.
Look, if
hey,
she's a 7, maybe an 8. She's not a 10.
I'm with you, Aaron. I was just wondering if she placed on the poll. All right.
Nah, man.
Oh, yes.
I would like to see her place on the poll just to screw with the DNC.
2, 4, 6,
right?
8. She was 8th at 3% so far.
Clearly, Zach would like to see her place on the poll too, but the one in the strip club.
I mean, I got a poll right here. No, I'm sorry. That was a step too far. Tulsi, you're a wonderful person and our favorite battle buddy. Thank you.
But he'd like it better if you're a pole smoker.
Yeah, I don't get the gray streak. I just don't. But whatever.
Oh, gray streak is nice. I'm just saying.
Their own.
I'm a married man, but The gray
The
streak.
coolest X-Men does that with their hair too. So what
True.
the fuck's wrong with you?
I
It's
would
true.
never purposely have gray on my body.
Look, when I was very, very young, I worked at a country club, and one of our members spent a whole lot of money to have that one silver streak put in her hair, and she was regal and beautiful and sexy as fuck the whole time. So, and I'm not saying her name because I don't need her to remember me. But yeah, it was hot. Some people can pull it off. I prefer, purple, pink, blue.
I do too. And Elfie's being really resistant to doing cool hair colors.
It may have something to do with work. I'm really fortunate that I.
Oh no, her job's fine with it.
So the girl
Unfortunately, alternative hair colors and tattoos are frowned upon in healthcare. A lot of places won't hire you.
This place can't afford to be picky, and she does too good of a job.
Well, my lunch date offered to bleach and dye my hair whatever color I wanted, and I'm really missing fucking red.
Jesus,
and I'm really
do
upset.
it.
Eric. Purposely dyeing a gray streak in your hair is a clear sign of mental illness, and there should be a federal law to put you under a 3-year-long psych eval. Is that a red flag law for a fucking gray streak? Jesus, man.
That sounds like the most oppressive red flag law I've ever heard of.
Fucking
Lock me
red
up in a
flag
minivan
laws.
for 3 years? Damn. I just thought it was icky. I just don't like it. I didn't say the chick was mental.
Oh, red flags. In Oklahoma, did you know that in Oklahoma it is a felony to fly a red flag?
Seriously.
What does a red flag symbolize?
Well, in the days of McCarthyism, right, it symbolized communism and the
Oh.
Cold War, and so this is a leftover. It's also a felony in Oklahoma, and it's buried in the flag statutes, not in the criminal codes. It's also a felony in Oklahoma to promote anarchy.
Hey now.
Two
So
questions.
if you have a red anarchy flag, is it like a 2-for-1?
Double felony. I don't know. Like we
Boom, boom.
tried. So at a pride parade a few years back, we intentionally put an anarchy symbol on our float, partially because of this, right? And also because there is a whole lot of alignment there with fuck the government, right? Fuck the state. So committed a felony for 5 or 6 miles trying to get somebody to bust me. Because when you try to fight these laws, here's what they tell you. They say, well, nobody's been prosecuted under that, so it's okay if it's there. And I'm here to tell you, fuck you. The fact that the law exists, that is force. And fuck you and your force. You don't get to create a law that stifles my political speech. Political speech specifically is protected. If there's a no soliciting sign on an apartment building and I'm canvassing for Sam, guess what? I still get to go there because it's political speech. I try not to because people go, oh, you're a dick. But sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
Maybe you just stick the flyer in the door and
places that say no soliciting, all of that shit. If it's political speech, you are still allowed. They cannot stifle your political speech. And that is exactly what this law does. So fuck you.
So does that mean that I can sell political merchandise and call it political speech?
I believe so.
Ooh. Excuse me, would you like to buy my cool taxation
turning now?
I mean, and if somebody says you can't, what a fucking case, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's the shit wet dreams are made of.
We have very different
lore somewhere.
Clearly, if I did not receive some kind of sexual satisfaction from Liberty work after all of these years, do you guys think I would still be here? Fuck no.
I just thought that it's because you're such a glutton for punishment.
I mean, that's part of it. Part of it is my submissive streak, right? Part of it is beat me harder, daddy, but only if I say you can. Right? And this is my problem with the government.
We didn't say you could do anything.
To put that
there you go.
there.
Okay, so here's the story for you guys at the ONC meeting where it's after the meeting and a bunch of us are having dinner. And I'm not going to use names because I'm not going to out somebody who I really care about and respect and think is awesome. But another individual at the table is like, look, for years, I did a whole bunch of work with Amnesty International and their anti-torture campaign. And, because it's important work. And nobody is ever going to tell me that torture is ever acceptable or okay or ethically okay or humane. And I'm like, fuck you. You don't get to kink shame me. Like, who are you to tell me that I can't volunteer for this? And part of me was just being me, right? Like, you guys know how I am.
No.
But the other part of me is very serious about that. This is something that people are losing their livelihood over sexual choices between consenting adults. Happens all the time. People are incarcerated because of consensual activities. So this is a big deal for me. But we talked about it later, and she was like, I didn't even know what to do with that. Nobody has ever said that to me. I have never had that turned on me that way. Like, that's something I had never thought about. And I think that's part of the thing. Right. Like, that's something people don't think about. But for me, this affects my life.
Yep. So yeah, that's a perfect opportunity. And hopefully that person learned a lot about a couple of things, about.
I hope so. And I hope that people understand that, yes, libertarian does not equal libertinism, but it also does not exclude libertinism. And fuck you if you think you get to. Like, seriously.
So, Aaron's favorite person, Todd Hagopian,
oh my God! Fuck off, Muppet!
Who?
So it's a good tweet, actually. Give me a second. He's like, so if you didn't hear, Biden jetted out of New Hampshire already.
Sure.
Because he knew this was about to happen. He's like, Biden seriously left New Hampshire early so he could be standing in front of a group of black Democrats when he gave a speech tonight quoting Nelson Mandela. He's so desperate you can smell it.
Well, is he though? Is he desperate or is he being smart?
I don't think he wants it. I don't think he wants it at all.
They're just like, you got to keep doing it. All right.
Okay, I'll do it. Whatever.
I mean, I could see that they're pushing him because they're afraid of Sanders, and he's just like, I guess I'd rather be home having kids touch my furry legs or whatever.
Right. Like, here's what typically happens. And I think Trump has been an anomaly in so many ways, right? We when we dig into that and we examine it, I think we all kind of come to that conclusion. He's an anomaly. Traditionally, it's whoever's turn it is. It's how we got Bob Dole.
Oh yeah.
Right? It's how we got Hillary fucking Clinton. Fuck you, left. Everybody on the left. All you motherfuckers on the left who say, libertarians, you agree with us on social issues, come join us. Fuck you. Because you're dumb. You're fucking stupid. If you had a brain, you would have nominated Sanders. Where the fuck was Sanders? You want to know who I blame for Donald Trump? The goddamn left. Either do the right thing and admit that all of your talking points were ours first. You conscripted them and ran with them because really you want Marxism. Either admit that or shut the fuck up because you created this shit.
Yeah, you guys decided to become socialist, communist fuckwagons and put up shit candidates, and we get Donald Trump. So congratulations. It's all your fault.
And everybody, even Sam, like Sam's running for president right now. I promise you, there are at least a million things Sam would rather do. And all you motherfuckers have to do is put up one good candidate and we'll shut the fuck up.
Yeah, but you can't. So here we are.
Put up a good candidate.
15, so fuck you.
Right. Put up a good candidate. Repeal some goddamn laws. Close some fucking alphabet agencies. Realize that our lives are not your fucking business. And we're cool, man. We're not asking for a whole lot.
Never hear from us again.
We'll all just shut the fuck up and go back to playing nice. Really, we want to be sitting around getting high, enjoying our lives more than we want to be fighting you, but you don't give us a damn choice. Like, be a buddy.
On that note, Aaron, do you have like a nice wooded area on your property?
I do.
Could I maybe come chop some trees down, build a cabin, and just Elfie and I have a summer house on your land?
Yeah, I don't care. You can bring one of those cabins, those little like shed
I want to build
homes.
it.
Yeah, I don't care. It's all cedar.
That's like the best kind, isn't it?
Yeah.
I just want to come play with your animals.
It's bug proof. Come on.
Dude,
guys, seriously.
Gray had a meltdown when she found out you had chickens and had never told her that.
Yeah, I thought you knew. I thought everybody knew I had chickens.
Why don't you post fucking more videos? God damn it.
Because they're chickens. They're not.
Yeah, you get to hang out with little dinosaurs all the time. What the fuck? Why aren't you sharing?
I mean, they're just fucking
They're
chickens.
so funny.
Throw like a mouse in their pen
If
and
you
watch
throw
them
a
go
mouse
crazy.
in there, holy shit, they turn into little fucking velociraptors. They want to tear off a leg, and the other one's got out by its tail, and the other one's tug of war. It's like crazy. Give them a lizard, it's even better.
Oh my god.
Oh my, this is perfect. Sam would rather be riding his lawnmower wearing socks with sandals and sipping an Arnold Palmer.
Okay,
Who
one,
wouldn't?
riding the lawnmower, yes. Sandals, yes. No socks. Socks with sandals. What was it you said about the white streak in the hair? There you go.
Arnold
Agreed.
Palmer.
Arnold Palmer.
What kind of dad
Absolutely.
are you? You have to wear socks with your sandals. It's in
No.
the Bible.
Only
I
if you
love my
fungus.
sandals, man, but no socks.
You only wear socks with sandals if you have contagious fungus.
I like to think that all
things
men
you
have
know.
contagious fungus on their feet.
Oh no, contagious feet don't get in my bed. No.
You cover that shit up and take care of it.
Wash
before
your
you come out.
shit. Wash your shit.
Disinfect, do what you gotta do.
God damn, it's your feet, people.
Get a pedicure. They're nice and lovely. And I can't, I need to
It always shocks me how many guys you say, let's go get a pedicure. Guys are like, a what? A pedicure. No, I can't do that. Well, that's ridiculous.
Love that, man.
Give you a pedicure and a hot stone massage. It's amazing.
Oh my God. As long as you can get past people touching your feet, you will love it.
Look, for some people, that's their kink. Be nice.
Well, some people are super, super ticklish and can't
Yeah,
handle people touching their
Elfie
feet.
struggles to get anything done with her feet because she's so ticklish.
But
Which is, of course, depressing to the guy who has the foot fetish.
Right?
Oh my God.
They're about to. They just updated results. It's currently 64% reporting, 26% Sanders, 24 Booty Pig, 20 what's her face,
Klobuchar.
Warren at 9 and Biden at 8. He's slipping even further.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's creepy Uncle Joe.
They're saying that Biden
creepy.
and Warren will not get delegates from New Hampshire.
Chad's
Oh,
right
wow.
though. I don't like to.
Good.
I don't like to videotape my food. So like, here's the thing. You talk about Joe, and maybe he doesn't want it. Maybe he does. Maybe he feels pressured. Man.
Why am I getting dumped? Wait, what? Okay, first off, if this is because
it's
I
a
have
foot
a foot fetish, how did you not notice that the previous year we have had this podcast and talked
Right,
about
dude,
it?
it's not
How long
news.
did it take me to realize that you had a foot
Oh, yeah.
fetish?
Look, when it
As
comes
you
to
kept putting your feet on camera.
when it comes to the Joe thing, the Joe Biden thing, we all laugh about creepy Uncle Joe, right?
Mhm.
But there was something I said when Johnson was running for president, and I'm going to say it again this term. If you would not leave an individual in charge of caring for your friends, family, and loved ones, if they can't spend, you wouldn't trust them to watch your kids for a week, right? You couldn't trust them to feed and water your dog, water your plants. Why would you leave them in charge of the country? I said this when Clinton ran, both of them. I mean, seriously, do you trust Bill Clinton alone with your 16-year-old daughter? Like,
Oh
if
my
you do,
God,
you're an
yes, no.
idiot, right? And Hillary Clinton, how many people wind up dead around her? I couldn't trust her to not kill my plants, right? Would you trust her with your kids? Would you trust Donald Trump with your 16-year-old daughter? No, he'd try to grab her by the pussy, right?
And this was a very good point. When
who
you
would
made it
trust-
before, great
Who'd
point
trust
now.
Uncle Joe? Would you trust Uncle Joe with your kid?
But I have said it before, and
trust
I
him
will
with
say
my
it
dog.
again.
Or your
would-
dog?
I would love nothing more than to see Trump and Joe Biden on the debate stage and hear Trump say, "Hey, sleepy creepy, what do you got to say about that?"
Man, I want to see them make out.
God, your kinks are fucking weird. I am kink shaming you.
I know.
Not
Yeah,
only
that's
am I
weird
kink
as shit.
shaming you, but I'm calling what is the
The pickle juice is coming back up at the thought of that.
oh
It
man.
really is.
Look,
So-
think about it from a capitalist standpoint. Whoever got the first original video of Trump and Biden making out, that's a rich motherfucker.
Oh, gross.
I would like it to
No
be
one
me.
wants to see that. Why would you
Fucking
even
Putin
say
does.
that?
Putin would pay a lot of money for that shit. He wants to see that, I promise you.
Well, listen,
On a
I
side-
didn't want the mental fucking image, Aaron. God damn it.
You're gonna dream about that shit tonight.
I'm in a nightmare about that tonight.
Side topic: the Iowa governor decided felons could vote after serving time. Now they decided they have to pay restitution to get to vote. How much more can we ask poor people to pay?
Somebody tell me where in the Constitution it says that citizens of this country have a right to vote unless we're pissed at you.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
And until you can
the
show me
problem is
that, fuck
voting rights in America, because of the way they were phased in, it's a mess. And realistically, they need to strike everything about voting out and write a new intelligent amendment just to say this is voting in America.
So,
Forget all of that.
I could almost see the case where if you murdered someone, if you ended their life, maybe then you don't get to vote, right? Because restitution should be reciprocal. And if you ended somebody else's right to vote, somebody else's right to political speech and right to cast their franchise however they choose, maybe then, yeah, maybe you lose yours. My problem is how many people are wrongfully fucking convicted?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Eric, going back to our previous conversation, said that he'd trust Tulsi to turn his 19-year-old son into a man while he's on vacation.
Well, yeah, but I mean, unless you're going to make sure she has the time to turn every American boy into a man.
Look, that is the
I would
best
claim
use
that
of the
special
office
privilege.
of president I can
True.
possibly think of.
Look, I'm not
Don't
against
Tulsi
fucking for freedom.
Send her around the country to turn young boys into men.
That
And
might
young
be a
girls-
slight
young
abuse
girls-
of power if there's a 1 in their age.
I mean,
No, as long as there's an 8 behind that 1, I don't give a fuck.
Oh my god.
I mean, I don't limit it to boys. There are some girls who would be interested as well.
I mean, I guess she has to agree to that though, because like I know that she.
No,
has-
man, I think if you're president, you're for the people, by the people, of
that's a
the
good
people.
point.
For all the people.
Sam, would you turn young boys into men if you were president? Don't even say anything. Don't do it.
There's no way to answer that and live.
Poor Sam.
It's a trip, run from the landmine.
Oh my goodness.
Take cover.
Dive.
All right, so we do have to bail. So Sam, give us your elevator pitch on our way out.
Yes, please.
Oh, elevator pitch. I'm Sam Robb, and I'm here asking you for your support as I run for president of the United States, because honestly, you can't trust the Democrats or the Republicans to get anything done the way that it should. We need less government, not more. We need more freedom, not less. And we need the American people to come together instead of bickering about which form of authoritarianism is the best. We need to get back to our roots, and we need to make America free again. Vote Sam Robb 2020.
That's a good
Nice.
pitch, man.
I love
try.
it.
Um,
Winding up with
free
zombie
again, that's
brains,
amazing.
by the way.
What does zombie
juice.
brains taste like?
Yeah.
Actually, I think this is like pink lemonade. I
okay.
was gypped. I was expecting something horribly gross, but it's actually just pink lemonade.
Well, that's nice and pleasant then. That's something you can actually drink, right?
I can end the episode on it. Yeah.
All right. News episodes all week. Shit, who do we have next week?
Me. It's me. I'm tomorrow night.
You're not a guest, dude.
No, but I'm tomorrow night.
All right. Do I need to look it up for you?
No, I
Is
got
this
it.
What happened?
Oh, we got Nathan coming up next week. Nathan Hammond. We're going to talk about porn. It's going to be a great episode. Everyone tune in. Thank
I
you,
never
Sam,
watch porn. It'll be
thank
great.
you, Sam, for coming on and
What the fuck?
talking about porn
Jay?
with us.
Thank you guys for having me on, and thank you for not talking about porn with me. I really do appreciate that.
All right,
I mean, we try, man.
we'll see you all tomorrow for the news. Bye.
Good night.